Elimination Chamber has come and gone, and it's time to talk about the good, the bad, and the hilarious moments. It's time for a new segment on Tooney Wrestling called Facelock Features. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. We're trying a little something new today here on Tooney Wrestling. In addition to the song parodies and headlock headlines, I wanted to start running feature segments here on the channel. These are going to be in-depth looks at a featured topic. It's going to be a little different from everything else we've done up to now, but I figured, let's try it out and see how you guys like it. And we're calling it the Facelock Features. Ugh, I don't know if I like that. Anyway, WWE Elimination Chamber 2024 has come and gone from Perth, Australia, and I finally got to experience what it's like to be my friend But Why Alyssa from Twitter, because I woke up at 5 a.m. to watch a pay-per-view and received a number of unsolicited dicks in my inbox. Armed with a cup of coffee in place of my usual Scotch whiskey, I settled in a little late to watch along with over 52,000 screaming Aussies. Through the course of the show, I witnessed a lot of great moments, some bad moments, and some moments that were just too funny not to share. So I figured let's do a video sharing them, and then you guys can comment below with moments that made you cheer, cringe, and laugh. Not so fast, monster jobber. Triple H? G'day, mate. Yes, it is I, the acclaimed champion of champions, descended from on high to freshen your ridiculous little show with my divine main event presence. So I take it you're still in Australia then? I am, but even being on the other side of the world isn't enough to save you from me. By the way, big congratulations on winning the Wrestling Observer Booker of the Year award. The wrestling what and the what now? Never mind. Well, now that you're here, you can help me break down Elimination Chamber. Oh, you mean my amazing achievement, bringing wrestling to this desolate land of desert monsters? What, you mean all the crazy wildlife? No, I mean the people. They drink beer out of their own shoes. Oh, God, I saw that. I threw up a little in my mouth. Yeah, I yacked all over Bruce Pritchard. Little red-faced cuck just took it. Well, our first moment to discuss took place at the beginning of the show, where we saw a number of WWE wrestlers entering the building. One of them was Kevin Owens, and he was joined by a special guest. I don't know who came up with the idea of Kevin Owens holding a koala bear, but my hat's off to them. This is something I never knew I needed. Yeah, he was a cute little thing, wasn't he? Wait, was? He was delicious. Aren't they an endangered species? Shh, you didn't hear that. The WWE corporate motto. Speaking of things most people didn't hear, the fans in Australia might have loved Rhea Ripley, but they really didn't love a boyfriend. According to live reports from those in attendance, there was a chant in which the Australian audience called the son of the late great Eddie Guerrero, they told him see you next Tuesday. No, they won't. He's not on NXT. No, they called him a certain word that starts with the letter C. Catman? He does have certain feline qualities, I suppose. No, look, it's a word that Americans get really weird about, but Australians toss around as a normal everyday term. I'm only refraining from saying the word because we're not monetized yet, and I don't know enough about YouTube's rules on language restrictions. Just, it's a word that American women get really touchy about. Clitoris? Alright, next. I mean, I'm just saying, China's was pretty big, and, you know what, speaking of things that are hated, where's that, funny little tweaker kid that usually comes on here? Wait, Tooney Khan? Sure. I don't know, we haven't seen him since the Observer Awards were announced.
They stole it from us, tricksy, filthy little Marxists. They took it from us. My precious.
You know, there was still a blanket of controversy around this show since your father and... Oh, hey, look at the time. I gotta go do important WWE main eventer stuff in Australia. Wait, aren't you gonna comment on Ninja Vanish? Son of a... Anyway, another of my favorite moments from this show was a carryover from one of my favorite moments from the Royal Rumble. Now, I was never a fan of Logan Paul, but the kid is undeniable since making his wrestling debut. He's taken to pro wrestling with the kind of natural ability not seen since Kurt Angle, and that might be the highest compliment I can offer someone. But he's still new, still wet behind the ears, still green, and there's an old school wrestling tradition where new guys have to pay their dues to earn their way into the sport. Guys like Bill DeMott and Hardcore Holly were famous for this. Hulk Hogan had his leg broken on purpose on his first day of wrestling school. Or so he says, who knows if that's true. But you don't see it much anymore. This was once seen as a badge of honor. When you survive and come back, it's like you're accepted into the fold. It's one of those things that faded with time, and the veterans today don't seem to do it anymore. Except for Kevin Owens, apparently. Anytime Kevin Owens gets his hands on Logan Paul, he absolutely clobbers him. He annihilates this boy, chopping his very essence. We saw it at the Royal Rumble when he beat Logan Paul like he owed him money, and we saw it again here in the men's chamber match. And to Paul's credit, he took it like a man and gave it back. You might not like Logan Paul personally, but his talent between the ropes and his ability to take a beating doled out by a legit bruiser have to be commended. Next up, the Cody Rhodes promo of nothingness. Look, I'm sure the people of Perth appreciated the fact that they got to see Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Grayson Waller, and to a far lesser extent Austin Theory on the show. But this segment went nowhere and accomplished nothing. What a waste of 10 minutes. I always hate it when there are promo segments on a pay-per-view. PLE! What? Where the hell did you come from? They're premium live events now. I know, but everyone still calls them pay-per-views. But you're not paying per view. It makes no sense. It's been in the wrestling vocabulary for decades. It takes time to phase itself out. Don't get so mad you'll short out your robot heart and have to be rushed to an Australian hospital. Medical center! Jesus Christ, really? Still, even after the old jackass was put out to pasture, you're still holding on to those terms? Yeah, fine. PLE is, I guess, what we have to call it now. But usually, these promos lead to some kind of major angle or impromptu match, or they involve some kind of legend who isn't able to actually wrestle a match. A great example of this would be the Piper's Pit segment with Stone Cold Steve Austin from WrestleMania 21. It wasn't a match, but it was entertaining and showed two retired legends squaring off on the microphone. This was not that. They brought out Theory to get some heat. That was followed by Waller, who got a big hometown pop. Then we bring out Rollins and Cody, and here's what the fans knew going into this promo. 1. Cody Rhodes is mad at The Rock. 2. Seth Rollins has Cody's back. 3. Seth Rollins will wrestle at WrestleMania. 4. Cody Rhodes wants to fight The Rock. Now, here's everything we learned in this segment. 1. Cody Rhodes is mad at The Rock. 2. Seth Rollins has Cody's back. 3. Seth Rollins will wrestle at WrestleMania. And 4. Cody Rhodes wants to fight The Rock. Look, obviously they're saving Rollins in the ring to defend the belt at WrestleMania given his injury. But on a show that only had 4 matches, couldn't we have done Grayson Waller versus Cody Rhodes and given the guy a match in front of his home country? I don't know. This just felt like wasted time with 4 guys I genuinely like and look forward to seeing. But it was more like a throwaway segment on Raw than a pay-per-view. PLE! Oh, for God's sake. Anything to add to what I said about the segment? Yeah, it's called the championship, not a belt. You know, while I have you here, there's something that always bugs me about the Elimination Chamber. That it's only once a year? What? No, the pods. Every year we get Michael Cole telling us that the pods are made from the same material they use in creating bulletproof glass. Right. And then, almost every year, someone gets thrown through the pod and we see that they're made of flimsy plastic. I mean, I get that it's the material he's talking about, and bulletproof glass is a lot thicker, but you say it's bulletproof, and then we see a Logan Paul get thrown through it like it's a screen door. And we're supposed to believe that a guy like Bobby Lashley is somehow locked in there? Hey, everything Michael Cole says is 100% true. I tested them myself. Triple H personally shot at those pods for hours, and there wasn't even a single crack in the surface. Wait, you actually stood there and shot at these pods? Yup, and I have video proof of this. Well, this I gotta see. Bret Hart never drew any money. Chris Jericho was always overrated. The Ultimate Warrior was an asshole. I never should have been punished for the curtain call. Wait, that's what you meant by shooting? And not a scratch. Moving on. Fans seem thrilled at the results of the men's Elimination Chamber match, with Drew McIntyre winning and going on to challenge Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 40. Now, this heel run for Drew has been a breath of fresh air that he's needed for quite some time. Unfortunately, Drew's WrestleMania main event came in 2020, when the entire world was shut down, so Drew's big career-defining moment came in front of absolutely no one.
Yeah, it was like winning the AEW World Championship.
Hey-oh! Yeah, good one. But seriously, since carrying the company through the Thunderdome era, Drew's career has been stagnating, and this feels like the shot in the arm that's been sorely needed.
Yeah, too bad he's not re-signing, right?
Yes, according to our favorite useful idiot Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, Drew McIntyre still hasn't re-signed with the WWE, leading many to believe that he might be all elite.
What a fool I am to put him in such a top spot when he's already halfway out the door.
To be fair, Dave's sources confirmed to him just a few days ago that Drew wasn't going anywhere.
Oh, did they do that after he became the second man to pin Cody Rhodes in over 2 years?
Weirdly enough, yes.
Weird how that keeps happening.
Right? Either way, it was good seeing him pick up the win, and I'm happy for the guy, wherever he might end up. Finally, let's move on to Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, it's a shame what happened there.
What do you mean?
She was so excited to go out for her match in front of her hometown crowd. It's a shame the match got cut.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, we did the men's chamber match, and then it was time for me to go out there and talk about the attendance.
Right, and then?
And then what? The show ended.
What do you mean the show ended?
I went out there in the main event to announce the attendance. Then wham bam, thank you ma'am. Load up the chamber and make sure it's pirate proof. I hit the showers and admired my nude body in the mirror for the next hour and a half.
Wait, you think the segment of you announcing the attendance was the main event of the show?
Of course it was. It was me. Look, sometimes these things happen. Things get bumped. Like, remember WrestleMania 26? They were supposed to do that whole Shawn Taker thing, but we had to cut the show down to just 4 matches. I hit Sheamus with the pet of me in the 4th match to pin him 1, 2, 3 and set the people home happy.
Holy hell. Do you think that every match you're in is the main event?
I told Shawn it was a tough break, but, sometimes things gotta get cut for time. It's live TV. Card subject to change.
Yeah, but the show kept... You know what? You're right. What a travesty that was for poor Rhea, but that's the business, right?
Damn straight. Now, are we done? I hear they're throwing a shrimp on the Barbie, and I can't wait to see how fast Johnny Gargano goes up in flames.
Yep, all done. Thanks, Trip. I'll close us out.
Once again, I send them home happy. Trip out!
All right, let's keep going. Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax main event at the pay-per-view. It was amazing to see our girl Rhea out there in front of the hometown crowd closing out the show, and you could tell from the look on her face that she was genuinely moved by the experience. It had to be one of the single biggest days of her life, so seeing Rhea main event at pay-per-view was a big moment that I'll cherish as a fan. And seeing Nia Jax in a pay-per-view main event is also a moment I'll cherish forever, but for totally different reasons. The internet despises Nia Jax. She's one of the main targets for Smart Mark Aya, except for that 2-week period where people thought she might go to AEW. But Nia main eventing a stadium show broke people's brains. There were cries that Triple H was losing it and that this was a sham. And then her and Rhea Ripley went out there and tore the damn house down. Watching the outpouring of love on social media for Nia Jax, with some people even going as far as to admit they were wrong about her, an extreme rarity for the internet wrestling fans, was definitely a major milestone. But there was one moment better than all of this combined. One moment sweeter than watching a young woman's dreams come true before the eyes of a homeland and a long maligned figure getting a measure of redemption on a massive stage. That was 52,590 people chanting "My Hole" at Nia Jax. Well done, Australia. And there you have it. The first episode of Facelock Features here on Tooneytown Wrestling. This was kind of a very focused version of Headlock Headlines, and I'm thinking that might be a good thing to do after a pay-le. But I've got another feature set for next week where we're going to take a look at 5 wrestling personalities who destroyed their legacies and 5 who saved them. Let me know what you guys thought about Facelock features going forward, and join us Tuesday for the Headlock headlines. Oh, and by the way, a friend said Tooneytown Tuesday last week, and that made me decide that the headlines are going to Tuesdays now. So, if you don't like it, send your hate mail to @AEWNeckbeards on Twitter X, because it's his fault. Finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. For Trip, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!